Good evening, everybody. It is almost time for another new comic book day. As per usual, I was going to run over a few of the highlights with you right quick this evening. Starting with Batman Who Laughs, number 4. What more can really be said about this one? You know, it very much sells itself, but hey, number 4 is on the stands, finally. Next up, Captain Marvel number 4. Of course, movie having recently hit and everything. Bringing Rogue in, the first time Rogue and Captain Marvel have fought since when Rogue first got her, superpowers and everything. Well, not, the superpowers. When she stole Carol's powers. That's what I'm trying to say here, people. Come on. Also, Kelly Thompson, who I can't stop talking about. Catwoman number 10, returning to Joelle Jones's storyline after the brief detour last issue. That's kind of a one-off storyline. We're going to keep going with the whole penguin thing, presumably at least. I don't know, I haven't really flipped through it much, but that should be interesting. And Detective Comics number 1001, we got a brand spanking new logo. We've got like the proper first appearance of Arkham Knight now, because really 1000 was just that last page cameo. So this is kicking off the new storyline, new direction, all that kind of stuff. Dropped that one. Hawkman number 11, the penultimate issue of the big Deathbringers arc. This has been just like foundational, just definitive work for the Hawkman character. I was never a particularly big Hawkman fan before this, but I gave this run a try on the strength of Robert Venditti's name, and it has just kicked butt. Cannot recommend this one highly enough. Dropped that one too. Life and Death of Toyo Harada number 2. I was really surprised how well the first issue of this one did, and I really genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate everybody who picked it up and gave it a shot. Josh Dissert's run on what he calls the Psyot cycle, starting with Harbinger and then going into Imperium and wrapping up with this, has been one of the best things to come out of, in my opinion, the entire medium of comics throughout this decade. And so this being the, big finish to it all, I'm super excited about it. I think more people should read it. I think this is going to be something that people read and talk about for, years to come. Similarly, although not quite as, earth-shaking, Livewire starting into its second arc. Also really appreciate everybody who gave this one a shot. I know I talk way too much about Valiant stuff here on this channel, but it's because they're what has kept my faith in comics going through some times when I otherwise might have, lost interest. I love their line, I love their characters. And in particular, I love everything, related to the Psyot stuff. Livewire is one of the strongest, voices in comics. Vita Ayala's run so far, doing a solo book for the character, has been outstanding. And then continuing to work with, we are not continuing to work with Raul and Patricia Martin anymore. They're awesome, but then so is Kano, who is apparently taking over as of this issue. I guess I should flip through the books before I start talking about them. But Kano is also great, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing what he does with the book. And lastly, on the single issues, Symbiote Spider-Man number 1. This is a new miniseries, I think taking place, back in the days when Peter first had the symbiote. But the noteworthy thing about it is this is Peter David. I always want to support anything Peter David does because A, he's a fantastic writer, B, he's a fantastic human, and C, he's had a lot of really unfortunate things happen in his life, and so buy his books, support him in every way you can because he deserves it. Wanted to go over a couple of trades also. The first volume of the Joelle Jones Catwoman series is here. This is all the stuff that, for the most part, she both wrote and did the art on before she started just writing. And the second arc stuff, this is really, really fantastic return to form for Catwoman. Definitely a worthy successor to the Genevieve Valentine stuff that I loved so much at the end of the New 52. Really, again, highly recommended. I'm running out of words tonight, as you can tell. And last thing I'm going to mention is the first trade for Isola. This is had a lot of people talking lately. It's been one of the buzziest Image books going in the floppies. I'm excited to see it hit trade now. It's very, you know, if you haven't picked up Isolo before, it's very Miyazaki influenced. They're definitely going for that vibe and that subculture. It's just a really cool kind of epic fantasy type of thing. You should definitely check it out. Like a lot of Image Volume 1 trades, it is just $9.99, so yeah, not really losing much. As per usual, all this stuff will go on sale at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we will see you then.